First of all, lie down as usual. Examine your body at rest. Monitor all your members, from your heels to the back of your head. Pay attention how each organ is positioned so that it can be seen and felt. And notice the differences, if there will be, later. This is a lesson almost without movement. Anyone who is not comfortable lying in this situation can put their feet standing on the floor or move their position. The moment you become comfortable, return to the initial position. And now listen to your breathing. Pay attention. Where do you feel the air movement? In your nostrils or in the root of the nose? Or above the upper lip? Or the air inside your mouth cavity? How do we know that we are breathing? Where do you feel it? Where do you feel the air movement? Not everyone feels the movement the same way. There are those who feel the movement in their nostrils, others pay attention to the movement of the air on the upper lip. They may feel the evaporation or perspiration on that place. This area may feel cool, so they know the air enters their lungs. Some feel the movement of the air inside their nostril or inside their mouth on the upper palate. Try to learn where you sense the air coming out or in. How do you breathe? How do you know you're breathing? Now pay attention to whether you feel the breathing in your right nostril or your left nostril. Do you breathe through the nostrils together? Do they work equally? Pay attention to how you know that it is breathing or not. You will see that everyone uses at least one of these ways, and sometimes several. Some people may use a part of one way and a part of another way to monitor their breathing. You may pay attention to your upper lip on one side and the inside of the nostril on the other side. You don't feel anything internally if one nostril is closed, but you may feel light air moving on your lips. Therefore, you find people who pay attention to their lip on the right side Now pay attention to the inside of your mouth cavity. First sense the front teeth. Of your upper palate, and then sense the inside edges of your front teeth. Listen to the palate in the front of your upper front teeth. In your imagination, move between the front teeth inside of your mouth along the dome of your palate to the uvula. After that, we will touch to see if what we imagine or what we feel really corresponds to reality. You will see that many are surprised by the rule that when you touch with your tongue, it feels completely different than what he thought. This means that he acts in a way in his mouth specifically with things that are constantly used in a completely different way than what he thinks. Therefore, it's very difficult to fix it yourself if something goes wrong. Well, listen to this one more time in the front of the front teeth, and mentally move like this from the front teeth on the inside all the way of the dome of your palate on the uvula, on the small tongue inside. And imagine you're moving your finger there and making the dome, that arch, very high. Try to think about it. See, move a few times along the large cardinal arch of the upper palate, from the front teeth all the way to the uvula. Until the little tongue inside, listen for it to be high, big arch, like a ball. Can you find where your nose links to your mouth as you pass along the large dome inside your palate? Both nostrils have passages inside your mouth. They join the palate on either side of the dome at the back of your mouth. Pay attention if in your feeling you know that this is it. Oh, the hole is here. Where are these holes? And now, begin listening to the palate on either side of the high dome that continues down to your teeth. Pass from the dome down to your teeth on the left side. Imagine going from the left side of the palate only. Pass from the back of your front teeth to the wisdom teeth at the back of your mouth. Travel from the middle of the high dome of the palate to the tooth. Feel the left side of your palate and imagine pressing it so it becomes more prominent, bigger. Go over it a few times until you think the space becomes larger. Go through several times with your imagination. And now on the right side, from the front teeth along the inside teeth, each one from the middle to the large cardinal arch in the middle of the entire right side. In your thinking, go over this area as if you want to look at each point. Pay attention to what you feel there. At the same time, you can imagine it becomes rounder and larger as it expands. This side becomes increasingly dome-like. And now, every tooth, try to listen to the distance between the wisdom teeth on the right and left side. Between all the teeth in pairs. Go over it with your imagination as if you are painting it with a small brush from right to left. Pairs of teeth. Through the large cardinal arch, lining up the entire palate. Round, high. Your palate becomes large, round, high, and protruded like a big ball. Open your mouth and insert a finger. Pass your finger over your palate and teeth and check that what you just sensed is compatible. Pass your finger over your palate as if it was one fine brush. Pass over the inside of your upper teeth. Does what you felt and imagined before match the feelings in your finger? Do you feel something in your finger that is completely different from what you thought? Pass your finger over your teeth as if it were a toothbrush. Move along the inside of your mouth from the wisdom tooth on the right to the wisdom tooth on the left. Pay attention if what you imagined matches the feelings in your finger, or it feels completely a different shape and structure. Now go over all the teeth, the upper teeth, from the inside, like with a brush. Like with a toothbrush, from the inside, from the wisdom teeth on the right side to the wisdom teeth on the left side, all the way back. Paying attention whether this is how I thought it was, or my hand, it feels completely different shape and structure. And now do the same thing on these upper teeth from the outside, between the cheek and the teeth. Now touch your finger, go like a toothbrush from the right wisdom teeth to the left, all around the gums, and notice how it feels with your finger. What is the actual size? What shape does it have? And now leave that and move with your imagination through the gums and the jaw around the teeth. And imagine that this space has become comfortable, large, and the cheek is not pressed against the teeth, that there is a transition between the cheek and the teeth. Now use your tongue to press all over your palate. Press the whole tongue against the palate and hold it for about 20 seconds. Be sure the pressure of your tongue is equal on the right and left side. It should also press equally on the front and back of your upper palate. Pay attention to those areas where your tongue presses clearly against the cardinal dome and where it doesn't. Let that go. And now press your tongue downward against the inside of the lower jaw. Press it against the inside of your lower teeth for about 20 seconds. Pay attention if it presses equally everywhere, right, left, front, back. Hold it flat, without movement, for about 20 seconds. Don't make any grimaces with your face. There isn't any need to open your mouth either. You don't need to round your lips. You only need to press your tongue down flat against the bottom jaw and teeth. Check the width of your tongue. Pay attention that your tongue presses whatever it can. Feel where the pressure is equally applied. And then back, push up. Again. Do the same thing again. Flatten your tongue against the cardinal dome. Check its width and length so the pressure becomes equal everywhere. The whole surface of your tongue presses evenly. And now check your lower teeth from the outside. Do just what you did on the upper part of your mouth. Run your tongue on the outside between your teeth and your cheek. You can even check this with your finger. Run your finger from the left wisdom tooth all the way around your mouth to the right wisdom tooth. Pay attention to what you feel. How are your teeth there? How does your jaw feel? Where does your jaw protrude? Where it doesn't? Now stop using your finger and begin using your imagination. In your imagination, begin moving from side to side, from the outside of your teeth, between your teeth and the cheek. Imagine increasing the space between your cheek, gums, and teeth. Think that you have a large space around your whole mouth, near your lips, in the front, in the back, on the right, on your left. Do this a few times. And now, from the inside, inside the lower teeth, with the tongue. Move from right to left, inside the teeth. Inside the lower teeth only. Move them apart with the tongue, making the distance between the teeth increase, making the lower jaw wider. And now pass your tongue over the inside of your mouth on the right side only. Move from the upper and lower wisdom teeth on the right side of your mouth to the wisdom teeth on your left. Move as if you wanted to color inside the surfaces of each tooth. Move from tooth to tooth, from right to left, until the tongue touches evenly every tooth. Then go from left to right until you color every tooth in your mouth with this brush that is your tongue. Do this 2 or 3 times. And now that you more or less is familiar with your oral cavity, think with each breath that the oral cavity becomes larger. I mean the teeth, all the teeth, the wisdom teeth are moving away from each other. The space becomes larger to the sides and bottom. The oral cavity is larger with every breath. It should press towards the ears on both sides. Near your uvula, the eustachian channels, those little pipes that connect your mouth to your ears, also press to the outside and grow bigger. The area under your nose also presses to the outside. The area deep inside the cardinal dome of the palate presses to the outside. It is as if someone from the inside was pressing the base of your nose forward. This protrudes the outside of your nose more until it becomes the nose of an eagle or a true Jewish nose. Now touch your lower jaw from the outside. Run your fingers from the joint of the jaw on the right to a similar place on your left. Touch the angle of the jaw from right to left. Pay attention to the distance between them. Measure from the angle of the lower jaw under your ears. If using one hand isn't enough, you can touch them with both hands. Check the structure from the outside, from the side of your cheeks and skin. And then, with your fingers under the chin, between the throat and the larynx, check all the muscles of the tongue from below, all that soft part under the jaw. Check the jaw from below until you can feel the teeth from the outside, the lower teeth from the below, with both hands. From below, in the soft part, and see why can't you put your fingers so that you can feel the teeth on the inside, on the right and left. You will see for many it is possible. For someone whose tongue is not strained, with very good breathing, it is easy to touch the inside of your teeth without pain. Pay attention. Where is the unnecessary effort? What is the size of your jaw under your hands? What do you feel in your chin and under it? How do the two arches of your lower jaw meet in your chin? There are wide chins and narrow ones. Some people have chins that show effort. There are many different chins in the world. Each person should try to feel what his chin is like. Pay attention to those things that you never thought about. What is different from what you imagine to yourself? Is it always different from what you see in the mirror? You see the right and left side in the mirror, and your jaw under your hand feels completely different from what you see. Of course, it matches what it is, not what you see. And now again, check the whole inner space of your mouth and jaw. Pay attention that everything will be big and wide inside your mouth. The space inside will grow in every direction you can think. And now, in the same way, begin thinking about the space in your abdomen. Imagine the space between your navel and your pubic bone. Think about the middle of this area and imagine someone is holding a deflated balloon inside the middle of your abdomen. They begin blowing air into this balloon and it begins to expand until it presses against the walls of your abdomen. In front, the balloon enlarges your abdomen up in the direction of the ceiling. The balloon pushes your abdomen down and back towards the floor. As the person continues to blow air, it presses right and left also. Eventually, the balloon presses up in the direction of your lungs and down in the direction of your pelvis. The more the person blows the balloon, the more it touches the head of your hip joints. It can go inside your pelvis to the right or left leg. The pressure may travel to the back of your hips and then presses them into the floor. Your small floating ribs on the right and left side press down to the floor and out to the sides. The small ribs in the front are pressed out to the side. From the inside, everything expands and presses to the outside. The balloon enlarges the volume of your lower abdomen in all directions. Imagine this happening. And everyone can try to do it belts by belts. I mean, like the belt outside, like this inside. You can move inside. Forward, right, belt to the left. And then take another 10 centimeters and do the same thing around. And then another 10 or 5 centimeters and so on. And then in another direction, or any combination. Each one of you, any combination you want. So that there is no place in the abdominal cavity on the inside that they haven't tried to touch with their imagination. With this ball or with the hand or with the belt that you move. Increase the volume from the inside. And now, try to feel again the inner space of your mouth Press your tongue to the upper palate again. Then press your tongue against the lower jaw, teeth, and palate. Does your tongue press with greater clarity now? Does your tongue touch more of your palate now? Is the pressure more, even more than previously? And now try to think of your palate and your lower abdomen at the same time. Think your whole mouth cavity and your whole abdomen. Then think of your whole abdominal cavity and mouth cavity. Switch back and forth until you can think of both simultaneously. And now, think of the inside of your chest. Do what you did with your abdomen, with your chest. Think of the inside of your chest, inside of your sternum, and just above your stomach. Imagine a children's deflated balloon that you begin to inflate. Listen to how it gets larger and presses on your chest in all directions. Up, down, to the sides. Try to increase the volume of this balloon just behind your chest bone. It will press your sternum to the ceiling and your spine to the floor. Pay attention that you do not make intentional movements there. Feel something internally, just behind your sternum, presses the bone towards the ceiling. From there, move up to your clavicle and throat. Observe if you're pressing upward. Your clavicles expand and move to the sides also. The middle of them moves away from the floor. Your whole spine in that area presses to the floor. Begin internally, just as you did with your mouth. Then touch your hands to your clavicles and sense with your fingers. Feel the whole space in the front of your chest. Touch your chest and clavicles. Once you pass the spine on your right and sternum, you have passed the cardinal part. Expand this arch. Increase the distance. Listen to the distance of your chest bone. Feel its distance from one point to the other. Sense its distance from the spine inside. It is as if a balloon bounces from your spine to the sternum and rebounds back to the spine. See if those distances become smaller or larger. From there, start moving right and left like before. Use parallel strips like before. Measure the height of your clavicles all around. Pressure makes everything larger. As the pressure increases, it moves to the armpit and under your shoulders. It moves right, left, back, and forward. It lifts your clavicle forward and your shoulder blade downwards and backwards. The volume above increases with the pressure. And the person doesn't fall asleep while he does that. If you leave a person alone without giving him an external connection, a person can spend an hour coloring only one rib, or color nothing, or fall asleep. Many people look at their watch during the lesson like that. They find this type of lesson boring. Those people don't do this lesson because they are so nervous and excited. They don't know what it means to think quietly about the same thing for 2 seconds. These are damaged machines, and they know it. Only after thinking successfully about something, such as this lesson, can that type of person begin functioning fully. You will see that there aren't any better exercise than those that bring a system into clarity. I see many of you who look at their watches. This lesson is uncomfortable for them. Between the words I say, they are thinking of wonders and other things. Never in their life have these people succeeded at thinking the same thought for 20 seconds. They haven't spent 20 seconds thinking about the same thought in a methodical and logical way. They never succeeded in solving a difficult problem through thinking. They may solve the problem because God's fools. Sometimes people who don't think succeed a lot better, but there are certain things that require thinking. For instance, building a machine that flies to the moon, planning for sufficient food for a year for a country, or planning for sufficient water to drink or wash. Destruction results if someone doesn't think successfully. That is why many can live without help. And now, imagine breathing and increasing the internal volume of your head with each inhalation. You can touch the outside of your skull with your hands. Imagine the thickness of your skull tissue. Think you are touching the inside of your skull. Try to feel the thickness of your bone and increase its volume. Move it in the direction of your ears. Start with your right ear. How is it on the inside? It is easier to imagine if you have seen the inside of a real skull. Anatomical accuracy is not important right now. It is not important that a person knows that how the head is built or makes a mistake. It is important that he listens to what occurs internally. Think of your right and left ears. What is the internal distance between them? Imagine you are sitting inside your skull and trying to measure the distance between your ears with a tape measure. Measure the internal distance between your ears. What is the internal depth of your head? Measure from your forehead backwards to the floor. Put your hands on your forehead and see its distance from the floor. How much internal height do you have? Are the bones of your skulls 4 centimeters thick or half a centimeter? What do you feel inside? What is the distance between your forehead to the soft tissue of your brain? Many people never thought about this, and they feel something peculiar the moment they think about it. Something changes in the organization of the face and eyes. If you only listen to the words and don't apply thinking to it, nothing occurs. You have to apply what you hear to a feeling. You must identify the feeling. Imagine the brain being inside the skull like a child's balloon. Start inflating the balloon. Try to think what part of the balloon would touch first. Think of the inside of the skull as the balloon inflates. In the beginning, you won't feel much, but there are a few points where you might feel something. I believe the person would not be able to live if there weren't any points present. For your immediate needs, it's enough to know that you have a brain and to feel a few points. This is enough to earn money, etc. But you need a lot more to be a human being. The more a person is evolved in his awareness, the more things the person can feel clearly. There are parts such as the movement of the eyes or the relationship of the head in space that a person feels accurately. The more creative and organized the person becomes, the more familiar these things seem. The person may find it new to do this in a methodical way, but many of the points on his head are familiar to him. There are others who find none of this familiar. Those people need this information more than the others. What do you feel after a lesson like this? Do you feel different? Do you feel something for the better? You can try doing this more thoroughly at home. It is difficult to do in a large group.